This is Daniel. Sorry I can't be there today. I'm actually going to be in Georgia today for a special leadership conference. And unfortunately that means I can't be there for you guys. But that doesn't mean I can't teach you guys. So that's why I'm recording this video right now so that I can see you guys in the future. So throughout this video I'm going to ask Sid, who should be controlling this video right now, to pause when I ask him to pause so that you guys can discuss. So don't be alarmed if I say, talk to the neighbors next to you, because I want you to, please. Oh, hey look, Sid just made a cameo. He should be there in real life too. Real life Sid is judging current Sid right now. It's okay. Alright, so right now we're going to talk about some business. Right, so this whole camp is called Startup Academy, and it'd be kind of weird if we're teaching a startup academy without teaching you some business. So that's what we're going to do right now. So, what is business? Let's take a pause. Okay, so hopefully you guys came up with some cool answers. Sid, I hope you controlled yourself and asked some questions too. So business is an interaction between buyers and sellers, right? So you guys probably got some answers close to it, whether it be people selling something, buying something. Basically describes what the actions of businesses are. So what is the goal of a business? Let's take a pause again. Alright, so the goal of a business is to make money, right? A business wouldn't be really a business if you aren't making money. So in short, how we can think of this is you want to make more sales than your cost. So hopefully an equation will appear here when I do that. Alright, cool. So right now we live in an ecosystem of businesses. You can kind of think of businesses as small little animals in a jungle, and they're all trying to fight for the same resource, money, right? So all of these businesses are trying to see who can survive the longest, who can be the fittest, and it's very difficult, right? So in this ecosystem, or this economy of businesses, we've got buyers, we've got sellers, and we've got the government. Well, why do we have the government, right? Why is the government butting into our businesses? Well, the government's really there to protect you as the consumer and or business, so that you don't get taken advantage of by businesses and businesses don't take advantage of you, which is the same thing. Anyways, but also government taxes these businesses, and that's where there's a lot of differences when we're talking about businesses, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. The three main types of different types of businesses that you'll encounter when you're trying to think of a business. So throughout what I'm going to be talking about for the next 10-15 minutes, hopefully, I'm going to try to keep in mind about which business structure would you want for your business, right? Okay, so let's take a look at the first type of business, and that's literally when you have one person, right? So you have one person, and that would be called a sole proprietorship. Sorry about my handwriting. Hopefully you can read that. So sole proprietorship. Think about the word itself, right? What does sole mean? Okay, what does proprietorship mean? Okay, hopefully you guys got that. If you guys didn't, well, Sid, pause the video, have them talk to each other.
Alright.
Alright, cool. So a sole proprietorship is really simple. That literally means you are the business. You as a person are the business. So what does that mean? So that means any money that you make is yours, right? And you're going to be taxed as if individually, right? So that means I make $10,000 through this business. I'm going to be taxed on those $10,000. But at the same time, you're also responsible for any legal responsibilities of the business. So if somebody sues the business or you, then you have to do whatever it takes to pay that money back, right? So if somebody sues you for $20,000, but the business only has $10,000, you have to take the other $10,000 out of your pocket and be able to compensate that, because you are the business and you need to work that through. So what I just explained is called a pass-through entity. So now I'm going to ask Sid to take a pause at this point, and I want you to explain to the person next to you what is a pass-through entity. Okay, cool. So hopefully all of you guys understand. If you don't understand quite yet, don't worry. It might make more sense later on. So that's cool. You've got one business. I mean, you've got a business with one person in it, but we kind of want more at the party, right? So this is where the second type of businesses come in. So a partnership. So with more than two people. So a partnership is basically the same thing as a sole proprietorship, except you have multiple people at the party now. So for example, you as an entire company made $20,000. You would split it equally amongst your partners, you and your partner. So then you would make $10,000 and your partner would make $10,000. And at the same time, you'd also split the income tax equally. So then you'd be sharing the $10,000 of income, like whatever's taxed on your income tax, and your partner would also share that equally. And just like a sole proprietorship, if there's any legal responsibilities, you would also take responsibility of that personally. So what that means is if somebody sues you for money, you not only have to use the company's funds, you also have to use your own personal funds as well. So we kind of just went through these two, and try to talk to your partner about what are the advantages and disadvantages of being a sole proprietorship and partnership. Pause, Sid. All right, cool. We're back. So hopefully you understood that, and basically the disadvantage. Well, how about let's start with the advantages? So one of the advantages is it's pretty simple to understand, right? You are the business, and you only get taxed once yourself. But the disadvantage is that if there's any legal responsibilities, you have to take legal responsibility of that. So let's talk about a form of business where you don't need to take legal responsibility, and that's called corporations. So even though I'm writing 3, that doesn't mean like there's only 3 people in a corporation. That just means it's a third type of business that we're talking about. Okay, so corporations. All right, when I say the word corporations, what do you guys think of? Talk to the person next to you. Pause, Sid, if you didn't get the memo. All right, cool. So a lot of you guys probably think, oh, big company, right? There's McDonald's, there's Apple, there's HP, all these sorts of big companies where you think of corporations. Well, a corporation doesn't necessarily have to be big, right? It's only a legal structure in which businesses are kind of structured around. So basically a corporation, the advantage, or a corporation is basically a person, a business person, if that makes sense. So if you think of a corporation as a person, this is where the disadvantage in sole proprietorship and a partnership become an advantage for a corporation, because if there's any legal responsibilities, the corporation takes care of it, right? So if somebody sues the corporation for $20,000, it's up to the corporation to give back those $20,000. Like you as the employee, as the CEO, don't have to take any money out of your own pocket. So that's a corporation. But the disadvantage, since a corporation is like its own person, it also gets taxed, right? So it gets taxed as a separate entity. So under a corporation, you might have people working for it, right? You've got Bob, you've got Joe, and you got Sid working for the corporation, right? And then, so the corporation itself would get taxed, and then once the corporation pays its employees, or like, let's say our CEO, and then like our CFO and regular employee, their salaries would also get taxed. So in this case, a corporation is not a pass-through entity because you need to tax both the corporation itself and individual employees. So that may have been confusing. So talk to the person next to you and explain the differences between a corporation and a sole proprietorship and partnership. Okay, cool. So hopefully you got that. If you don't get that, well, feel free to email me any questions, and I'll be back on Friday. Yeah, so let's take a look. So that's all the material that I have to cover for now, but let's go through some examples. And then you want to just pause the video for now. All right, so let's take a look at some examples of some businesses, and let's see if you can guess which types of businesses these should be. So we've got our first example here, a bakery, and let's just say Sid wants to open up a bakery, and it's just himself, nobody else, because he doesn't have friends. No, I'm just kidding, Sid. What? That was Sid, by the way. So he just wants to start his bakery on his own because it's been his lifelong passion, and he always wanted to be a foodie, and he thought opening up a bakery would be great. So he opens this up on his own, and he's okay with having legal responsibilities. So with those two pieces of information, talk to the person next to you about what type of business structure should he use. All right, cool. Now, hopefully you all got sole proprietorship, and sole proprietorship is right because he's the only one having this business, and second of all, he's okay with having legal responsibilities. So, in order to get taxed less, a sole proprietorship would be the best. All right, let's take a look at the second example. So, you got a coffee shop, right? Got a coffee shop, and let's say me, Brittany, Akshar, and Amber want to open up this coffee shop. Right, so 4 of us. And the problem is, none of us really want to take legal responsibilities because we think somebody's going to sue us for how bad our coffee tastes. So, what type of business structure do you think we should use? Knowing that there are 4 people in it, and knowing that we aren't okay with having legal responsibilities. Alright, so hopefully all of you guys got a corporation. So, as you can see in this example, a corporation doesn't necessarily have to be big, right? So as long as you don't want legal responsibility and you think you're okay with being taxed twice, then a corporation's fine for 4 people, right? And typically these types of corporations, the smaller type of corporations, are called limited liability corporations, so an LLC, right? So an LLC, limited liability corp. Alright, cool. So, let's take a look at the third example. So, now we want to open up a supermarket. So, we want a supermarket with all of you guys. Okay, well actually, there's a little more than 10 of you guys here, so either way, so we want a supermarket to be open with 10 employees, and they're all okay with having legal responsibility. What type of business should they open? What types of business structure should they use? Talk to the person next to you. Alright, so hopefully you all got that. You can actually use a partnership as your business structure for this one, because if you're okay with legal responsibility, your number 1 priority should be to minimize your cost. And where does your cost come from? Taxes. So if you minimize taxes, then you want to do that. So in order to do that, then you want to choose a partnership. Right? So in this case, you can use a partnership. So right now, all of you guys should have worksheets in front of you. If all of you guys can fill out those worksheets, because that would be really helpful for you, and then kind of think to yourself, what type of business structure do I want to use for my group? And yeah, so that's all from me today, and hopefully I'll see you on Friday.